Hey Cloud Gamers, welcome to another CGX cast. You might notice that we're a couple of members down today. Ace has got a photo shoot. Yes, that's as glamorous as it sounds. And we've also got Jerry missing today as it's got a few commitments, and Jerry has managed to pretty much make every single one, so I think we can excuse him from missing one occasionally. So for those that aren't used to the CGX cast format, we're just going to run through who we are and what we've been playing this week before we dive into this week's topics. So let's start with Holtz. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Well, there you go. So I'm Holtz and I'm a cloud enthusiast. And this week I've just been diving into games just for a bit of fun. Destiny 2, Forsaking, just been walking around getting some kills. And also I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, just doing a bit of campaign and a bit of war. And what are they called? Conquer modes. Just while I'm waiting for the next Beyond Light for Destiny and the new Assassin's Creed. So just a relaxing week.
Great. Duncan.
That would be me now. Yeah. I have just had a nice relaxing week here. Nothing has happened at all in the cloud gaming space. Everything's been just nice and quiet. And I've actually been playing on a load of different things. I've been just chilling out and having a bit of fun. It's been a really, really great week for cloud gaming overall, and I can't wait to actually get touching on these subjects later, because I think we have got just a wee tiny bit of things to discuss tonight.
We certainly have. And yeah, well, nice tease there, Duncan. So, Ben?
Yep. Just, taking it easy this week. Had a sick kid, so all I got was a few hours on Ghost Recon. But yeah, pretty light
On what
week on my
platform?
gaming. Stadia.
Excellent. And Mark?
Evening or afternoon, depending on where you're from. Busy week. Kind of been splitting my time. Some cloud gaming on Shadow with Foregone, which is like a Metroidvania style game, which I didn't know I liked Metroidvania style games. Turns out, loved them. I've probably dumped about 10, 15 hours into that so far. I've been playing it on stream. Loads of fun. And then it's been a busy week for VR stuff as well. So been doing lots of gameplay, lots of video content on all of the VR happenings as well.
Excellent, thanks. Personally, I have been playing Call of Duty Cold War in the open beta pretty much since it launched. Very impressed with that on Shadow and maximum settings. Been starting to notice the latency a little bit with that game on maximum settings. So Shadow PC has been taking the edge there, just because it doesn't feel like quite as much lag on a virtual PC. Otherwise, I dived into Elder Scrolls Online very quickly on Stadia because I got the itch to actually go back into that game. Unfortunately, it was the wrong time of night, so I almost fell asleep while I was playing it. But yeah, not really been playing a lot of games, a lot of content, a lot of news been going on this week, which we'll get on to in just a sec. So let's move on then to, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to talk about Geforce Now to begin with here. So 11 games came this week to Geforce Now, including 2 free Epic games on the same day releases. Just as a reminder, these were Second Extinction, which actually looks really cool, like dinosaur kind of, don't know how else to explain it, dinosaur FPS. Out of Reach Treasure Royal, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, which was one of the free Epic games, Kingdom New Lands, which was another one of the free Epic games, Cake Bash, I think we saw that on Stadia as well, Medieval Dynasty, Port Royal 4, Pro Cycling Manager 2018, Skyforge, Thief, Deadly Shadows, and Uno. Somewhere we've seen that before as well. So, have anyone been playing these games on Geforce Now, or what are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Mark.
Yeah, I think they're back strong for another week. I think we had like 1 week lapse where they added like 3 or 4 games, and then since then, I think last week it was 10. This week it's 11. The usual pattern we see is they add one of the 2 free Epic games. So this is probably the first time I think we've seen them add both games. They're pretty good ones as well. And in terms of free game selection, although it didn't state on any of the lists, Skyforge from Steam and My.com is also just a free MMORPG, which I pumped about a lot of time into back in the day as well. Actually, it's a pretty good game. So free games on the list, and 2 or 3 like brand new ones as well. So it's a pretty good week to be a GeForce Now gamer.
Yeah, that's good. Have you played any of them on GeForce Now this week?
I haven't. I don't. The one I wanted to check out, which I think I just need to sort the key out for, is Out of Reach Treasure Royale, just because I'm super interested to see how it is. It's like Sea of Thieves, but with a battle royale element. So battle royale, but it involves sailing and ships and taking down other people's ships, and that's how you become last person standing. But there's also land battles as well. I'm kind of confused by it. The screenshots I've seen, the character models aren't great. they don't look great, but the actual gameplay itself, as long as you don't look at a character's face, seems like it might be pretty good. So I want to check that one out. Once I get the key sorted, I think GeForce Now will probably be a good place to check that one out.
Excellent. That sounds quite cool. Holtz, any of them take your fancy?
Well, the game that I want to play is Second's Extinction, because it looks like Turok meets Dino Crisis, which is 2 games that I love. I love survival, dinosaurs, and big guns, but I'm put off because it's early access. That's what I read. So I'm going to wait for this one to sort of mature a little bit before I dive into this game. And then a game that I've been playing on other platforms, but the same thing, is Cake Bash in my isolation moments. So I've just been having a bit of fun, fighting cakes and try and dodge pigeons and collect all the jelly beans. But I think it's a bit sadistic, the game, because the game you try and pretty your cake up the most for it to get eaten. And I'm like, so I've won, but then my cake gets ate. So, but overall, it's been fun. Hopefully it doesn't get, too repetitive with the modes that I've played so far. But I would recommend this game for anyone that wants to play it on GeForce Now or Stadia.
I must admit, when I looked at the early footage of people playing Cake Bash, that was much more brutal, I thought, than what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a fairly kid-friendly game, but it's quite sadistic.
Oh no, I've been saying to my younger family members, are you ready to crumble? And I'm going to knock the living chocolate chips out of you. And, just threaten these enjoyable moments.
Excellent. Duncan, what about you?
Yep, and like we've been saying for the last, I don't know how many months, bar that 1 or 2 slight iffy months or days or weeks, GeForce Now, I've been banging out the games every week now, and some pretty decent games. And again, it's just, we're just mentioning Cake Bash there. It's again, there's just more and more day and date releases coming with GeForce Now as well. And we know we're getting more with the replay games or Ubisoft games like Watch Dogs Legion, and it's coming day and date. So this is, again, GeForce Now is just building themselves up nice and slowly, sure. Just building themselves up, and I'm just all over the show today. I don't know what's up with me. I can barely talk. They're just building up their library pretty well there, and I think everybody would be more or less happy with this. This week's a decent enough week again.
Excellent. And you played any of the GeForce Now games?
I unfortunately haven't had a chance. It's been too busy this week. I've been able to get on to other cloud services. I've actually got on to Shadow this week, but I haven't actually got on to GeForce Now. My wee box is over there. My wee shield is over there. I just haven't had a chance to actually get it set up to fire it up and test some GeForce Now. But it was on the list to do this week, but I just got distracted.
Yeah, there's a lot, as we'll come on to very shortly. Ben, what's your take on the GeForce Now games, and have you been playing any?
I have not played any of them yet. I did claim both of the Epic ones and added them to my library. I have the intention of playing them. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I agree with Holt's Second Extinction looked like a lot of fun, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger on it and buy it yet. I'll probably get to it eventually.
Cool. Yeah, the Second Extinction was one of the games that really piqued my interest. I did try and get a key, not very hard, but there seems that there's quite a lot of publishers that make it very difficult to talk to them. So I think they're the ones that make it very difficult for us to want to kind of cover, because it's a mission to try and get hold of any contact there, let alone request keys for specific games. But I'm hoping that as that game progresses and maybe comes out of early access, that maybe the price comes down a little bit. It's not too bad, but I think a lot of these games touting £20 to £30 for unknown titles in early access does seem like pushing it a little bit. I'm seeing a lot more on Steam, but it's good for them to be coming to Geforce Now at least, and hopefully that means that more people are getting confidence in the platform or service, whichever one you want to call it. I know we get gripe calling it a platform when it's a service technically, but hey. Okay, before we move on to today's hot topics, is there any more for people to cover on Geforce Now?
May have just lost support for one of these titles. Not that I'm multitasking while we're on the podcast, but I've just seen that Cake Bash rejected my request for a key, so maybe I won't be checking it out.
Oh dear.
Ouch. My feelings are hurt, but I still support GeForce Now.
Wow, there's more than one place to play Cake Bash. Talking of which, Stadia, what a week. Now, I'm going to have to try not to say the good stuff too much over this section or over this week, but Google has touted their own Good Stuff event happening from the 20th to the 22nd of October. And we've had quite a lot of build up from before on this, starting with some extra tweets. Well, last week we talked about their new advert, and they've put another advert out since then. Obviously now they've got this Good Stuff. They've really upped their Twitter game, and there's a lot more hype. So first of all, before we get into some of the other announcements this week, we're going to start with they dropped the fact that there's now 11 confirmed Ubisoft titles coming to Stadia. One not till February next year, Far Cry 6, because it's a launch day title. But before we go over the whole Good Stuff kind of speculation and hype, what do you think about the Ubisoft titles coming and the fact that they've been dropped ahead of this 3-day stream? Holtz?
Oh, I thought it was great seeing them titles. I'm a big, huge Assassin's Creed fan, so seeing the likes of Unity, Syndicate, Origins, different eras for different people who actually want to play it was very welcoming. But I would like to see. I was a bit worried not seeing the Ezio collection or also the Rogue remastered. I would like them to fill in the gaps that's in between the game story, and also I would like to see more like Rayman titles. But overall, if you actually do like Far Cry's and Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, and Watch Dogs, it's a big, huge boost for this platform.
So apart from the Assassin's Creeds there, obviously we know the big title of Watch Dogs Legion and Valhalla and Far Cry 6 all promised for Stadia. Mm-hmm. Is there any other titles there that stood out for you?
No, just not really. I don't really want to go back on these games. I won't be playing them. But for people who haven't played them, it's great for them. Me, I'm more focused on Valhalla, Legion, and Immortals personally.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that Immortals is actually an Ubisoft title. So, yeah, it's going to be quite exciting. Duncan, what about you?
Yeah, I am stoked for basically every single one of them titles because I've played many of them to completion a number of times. For me, what actually stood out wasn't actually the titles which were here, it was the titles which weren't there, like the ones which we do know are coming in Rainbow Six Siege. Where is Rainbow Six Siege in this, and Rainbow Six Siege Quarantine? I think, not to get in, we're probably going to be talking about this shortly. That's probably some of the good stuff announcements. But these 11 Ubisoft games, absolutely great. I'm a massive Assassin's Creed fan, and I will be replaying them all. what actually stood out for me in this, I'm not sure if you want to bring this into a bigger discussion maybe after this, is what resolution and what frame rate these are going to play in. And the one which sticks out like a sore thumb with that for that sort of discussion is Assassin's Creed Unity. With the Xbox news this week, where that is running 60 FPS out from the box, if you don't patch it, that is, on the Series X. What will it be running on Stadia? And I'm just really interested to see where they're going to try and get these specced up. Like Colts, I was a bit disappointed that I don't have the rest of the Assassin's Creeds on the system there. Like the Ezio collection is sticking out, and Assassin's Creed Rogue, you would think they would be on it as well. So maybe that's more games coming down the line for the, again, speculation for the pad out Uplay Plus when it eventually comes. But I am really happy seeing all these games. I think I'm going to play them all bar Wildlands, basically. But I'm really happy that it's there.
Excellent. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, I think it's great news. It's obviously what we've been asking for a long time. It's a big dump of a back catalogue of titles to help bulk out the selection on Stadia. Ubisoft, I just have like the utmost respect for them, because they honestly just don't care where you play their games, as long as you have access to play their games. They want you to be able to enjoy them however you want, wherever you want. They're so supportive of every cloud gaming service that comes out. They're first, front and center. We saw it with Amazon Luna. They're the first one to have a channel on there. So great respect for them. So yeah, this bulk upload of back catalog is, to me, either just it's got to be preparation for Uplay Plus. And I'm hoping, as Duncan said, we'll probably get into it, but that's hopefully some of the things that we'll get some details on next week.
Great. How about you, Ben? What do you think of these 11 titles?
I was excited. I own a couple of them, so I don't know if I'll sign up for the Uplay Plus subscription. But it's definitely cool to see all these games coming out, filling out the library, giving people more reasons to play the games that they've already beat, the games that they love, on a platform that they can take anywhere. But yeah, definitely Uplay Plus for sure. I mean, I there's very little doubt in my mind that that's not coming next week.
Well, we'll segue to that because, I'm more excited about what this means for the big thing that's missing for me, which is Uplay Plus. I may have harped on about it just a few times over the past few months, like all year, but I'm not so fussed with a lot of the older catalogue. I'm massively fussed for the facts of Legion. No surprises there. I'm really hyped for that game. And I'm actually quite pumped for Immortals Phoenix Rising as well. I actually quite like the style and look at that game. It looks like quite a fun game. And I'm missing that from quite a lot of the games I've been playing recently. It's just the fun element. A lot of these games just feel a bit too serious recently. You got to spend a lot of time investing in them. I just want to be able to just hop onto a game and have some fun. Like Legion definitely seems like that. It doesn't matter where you want to drop in. You could just drop in as a random person, go try a mission. If it doesn't work out, obviously you can just go find somebody else and do it again. And some of the AI and stuff in that game, where it kind of, if you go off on a bit of a tangent, does offer you some suggestions to kind of bring you back into mission scenarios and stuff, looks really cool. So I'm really excited for those. The fact that Stadia's got these 11 games announced, and another game, which actually, before we go on to the real good stuff, we will cover, which is Cyberpunk 2077 day and day release. They announced this good stuff event, which we'll come on to shortly. There's 3 days of demos, streams, loads of announcements and stuff. However, they've dropped these 11 Ubisoft titles and the Cyberpunk 2077 news ahead of that event. So it really kind of, I'm not sure which way it's going to go, and I'm hoping that it's going to be lots of real good stuff and that we've not had all the real good stuff before the event. So Uplay Plus, massive thing. I really hope if that doesn't happen over the next 3 days, there's probably going to be a lot of violent outbursts on Twitter and YouTube and a few other social media outlets as far as Stadia is concerned. But before we get on to the speculation there fully, Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed, was coming to Stadia sometime in 2020. Obviously, with the delay, there wasn't a lot left at the end of 2020 for it to come to Stadia, but announced on Night City Wire, slightly leaked beforehand of it coming date and date release on Stadia. What are your thoughts on this? Start with you, Duncan.
It's awful news. I'm really disappointed, and unfortunately, I think I was one who kicked the hornet's nest with this in the first instance to say that it wasn't coming to end date, and I think some sort of money may have changed hands to get it going. Absolutely brilliant news. I'm stoked that it is coming to Stadia, and for us over in the UK, it's cheaper in Stadia than it is on Xbox and on PlayStation, which you may not know. Was this planned before the Good Stuff announcement? I think it was maybe out from Stadia's hands, because I think this was coming this week anyway, because it's Cyberpunk. This was their event, so I'm really happy that it's coming, and I just can't wait to see what it's going to play like on Stadia. And again, Stadia seem to be really backing this, because they have put out a game page as well. So you can actually go and find out about more information on Stadia and Cyberpunk.
Excellent. Yeah, there seems to be a lot going on there, and obviously those who watched the Night City Wire, there was quite a nice little segment to a very broad audience who didn't expect to suddenly be pitched Stadia, I don't think. But kudos to Google. They got a whole, section of the market there that suddenly now know that they can play Stadia and not have to worry about this 100 gig download or whatever that turns out to be going forwards. Ben, what are your thoughts?
I was super excited. It built up my hype, not so much because I want to play the game, but because it was really good news for Stadia in particular. I wasn't expecting much of the good stuff at first, but after they dropped the 11 Ubisoft titles and the confirmation that Cyberpunk was coming on day and date release on Stadia's birthday, also coincidentally, which is awesome. Makes me think that maybe, and this is pure speculation, what if they have an exclusive demo next week during the good stuff? I mean, that would be amazing. But I know it's high hopes and it's probably not true, probably won't happen, but I would love to see that. I think it would bring tons of new people to Stadia to try it out and see what the game is like. 100% online streaming without any hardware needed.
Yeah, okay, we'll come on to the good stuff a little bit more, but yeah, that would certainly be super cool. Holtz.
Now, I actually didn't know about this leak, so actually when I watched Night City Wire, I was over the moon to see same date and a pre-order. So I was jumping up and down going, yes, it's coming day and date. That I actually pre-ordered it right there and then, and I was so excited because now no one can laugh at Stadia. A big, huge triple game like that coming the same date as current gen, and it's going to look lovely. And on the 19th, I'm not going to even think about PlayStation 5. I'm just going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to be a nomad. I'm going to have my piece of crap truck in my crap clothes, and I'm going to take Night City by storm. So I was really excited to be part of the community where I can talk at the same time as other people now without being left out. So it was a good step in the right direction. I don't care if the engineers helped or Stadia paid a little extra money. I'm just really glad it's here.
Yeah, fair enough. Mark?
Well, first things first, Holtz, when are you getting your YouTube channel set up? Because I love the way he describes games. He's such a hype man.
I've got hype here straight away.
And secondly, Ben, don't you dare get my hopes up about Cyberpunk demo. I don't think it will be the case, but now you've just made me very hopeful. But this was fantastic news. Like we knew it was coming to the platform. It's just been so ambiguous for all of 2020 of when that was going to be the case. In my mind, because it was originally slated for, it was supposed to be April 2020 on all of the other platforms. Had it actually come out April 2020, I think this November date that we have now is probably when we would have got the Stadia release. So you would have seen this big gap between them. So it's great that like everyone's getting it on the same date now. There's like equal across the board. The only thing that isn't equal, the people who have to download that big ass file on day one. I think it's estimated to be around 70 gigs, which to be honest, like is still amazingly good. If you think how long they've been working on this and some of the trailers and screenshots we've seen of how amazingly detailed it is, 70 gigs is pretty damn impressive from CD Projekt Red. The optimization that they've done on the game looks absolutely amazing, but still 70 gigs is a lot for people. I know people's internet vary depending on where they live. If you get like 5 meg down, you're talking about like an overnight or like a couple of days worth of downloading versus Stadia. As soon as it's out in your time zone, I've seen it varies between countries. Some people it's like midnight, some people it's like 2 a.m. I'm probably going to stay up for whenever that is. But those people will be in the second it's available. There is no download, there is no patch. They'll just be straight in, straight away. And that's the selling point of Stadia, essentially. And it's what we've seen. Their marketing is taking a turn, and it's what they're really pushing in these new trailers we've started seeing, is that they're pushing on this point that I feel like they were missing a little bit before. They were just like heading in more of the direction of we're a console, and now they're really pushing that point, which is their selling factor.
Yeah, and as somebody's Dave in chats just said, and the day one patch, because we know pretty much all games now have a immediate day one update.
Yeah, that 70. Yeah, the 70 gigs will be half the game, and then the day one patch will be the other half. So yeah, like that could take some people a good couple of days to download and get into.
Well, if you got 1 gigabit down, you'll be able to download it in about 14 minutes. But if you haven't got 1 gigabit down and you just keep on dividing by what speed you got, you could be there for hours, days, weeks. It's going to be a sad time to be a cyberpunk enjoyer.
Yeah, I think on the maximum settings rig, I get over 50 down, and 20 gig takes about 10-15 minutes. So yeah, looking at least an hour or two. And my home internet, if I had to download that, is less than half of that. So you're looking at least a couple of hours download. There you go. Stadia will be at least a couple of hours ahead of most people. So I think this is absolutely phenomenal. There's been so much hype around Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red have really gone hard with their advertising, and this whole Night City Wire like weekly event, I think, has become as big as the game. It's been absolutely awesome to watch, and the hype and the amount of people just watching those streams. It's hard to follow live chat and anything of those sort of streams. It's just absolutely flooded. But I did watch it live, and seeing the Stadia announcement there, the shock on so many people's faces with it coming day and day release was absolutely hilarious. And not to give him any plug, but Yong Yi's reaction, the infamous Stadia hater across the internet, that was just priceless. So kudos to Google. However they managed to get it done, they got it done. And the fact that they've been really upping their game, like you said, the marketing that Google have been doing recently, and finally, we said it before that Google didn't want to market Stadia. They were waiting for something. And when they wanted to market Stadia, we would know. Well, I think they want to market Stadia now. They have gone hard. So I think they wanted to get the launch of the Google TV and stuff out of the way, because it's not coming with that. Android TV obviously has issues, because even people who have sideloaded Google Stadia on those devices have been mixed. So yay, I was right. They were not happy with it across the board. They didn't put it out there. So obviously once that becomes a stable product, Stadia will be available on all Android TV devices. I've got no doubt about that. So going back to the good stuff, their tweets have gone absolutely crazy. They've got 2 big adverts out there. Yes, really pushing that click to play. And I did see some rumor, I'm not sure whether it's absolutely for certain, about some of these demos coming on, these exclusive demos coming to Stadia, and these events coming will not require Pro. So they're going to be truly free to play demos, which I know a lot of us have been
Mark
pushing.
Chief, that just going to confirm that as 100% true. The demos do not require Pro. That has come from Stadia themselves, so you do not require Pro for these
So
demos.
that in
just,
itself is
put that
absolutely
out
huge.
there.
We've been pushing it for quite a while when they've done these free-to-play demos. You know, I know they get a month Pro free, but they've got the power, they've got the systems to do it. Why not just, if you've got an account, Pro or not, let them play the free-to-play games. Obviously, that will then entice people to either buy those games or subscribe to Pro and still buy the games, just with a bit of a discount, because Pro gets pretty much discounts on all games, especially at some point. So for me, I'm really hyped about the way Stadia is going. For the top 3 things, I think for me, I want to see out of this Good Play, so Good Stuff event this or next week, is Uplay Plus. It's got to happen. It's been promised in 2020 since before Stadia even released. So we're running out of time. And with these 11 Ubisoft titles, I really feel that they need to get this subscription out, especially with all the Luna talk. Family sharing, it's overdue. I think we need this. You know, most of us have got multiple devices, multi accounts. We really want to be able to share the Stadia love around and get more people engaged with it. Third, I'm actually with Ben. I think there's going to be a stealth demo, and I'm hoping it's Cyberpunk 2077. But if it's not, I'm hoping that Immortals Phoenix Rising demo drops early, because we know that there's an exclusive demo for it coming. But they never gave us a date, so I'm really hoping that one of those two is going to be one of those demos for this week. So
The
there's
other
my
thing,
top 3 wish list. Go on, Ben.
the other thing is it could be Watchdog Legion's demo, since that game's getting ready to come out in a week now, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of big titles coming. You know, there's a lot of hype. Ace will kill me for trying to build the hype bar, because you know we've been badly wrong before and it's gone quite against us. But I think they're wanting to build some hype. I'm really quite hyped for the Good Stuff. The other thing just to mention before I hand it over is they promised, I say promised, they said they're aiming for 120 games coming to Stadia this year. I think at last count with the announcements, we are around 80 to 90. So that leaves 40 games roughly to be announced for the end of the year. So we're expecting a lot of these games to be announced during this Good Stuff event. But you know, I think we were all a little bit skeptical whether they were ever going to hit that number with their release rate to date. So the fact that they're potentially going hard hopefully means we're going to see that target and maybe even exceed it. So what are your thoughts on the Good Stuff event, Mark? And you know, what are you predicting is going to happen next week?
So a couple of predictions I like purposely, because at this point their marketing is taking me by like so much surprise, and this sudden change that I have it's so hard to guesstimate. Before they were a little bit predictable, and at this point I have no idea, so I like abstain from from guessing in like my video today, for example. I got a couple of thoughts that I just kept back. So I think one of them, I think, although is not officially confirmed, it might be, but I think we all but know that there will be a Immortals Phoenix Rising demo. I share in what Ben said, that I think being another Ubisoft title, being this growing partnership, hopefully the Uplay Plus stuff coming, and like he said, because the game is not that far from release, hopefully Watch Dogs Legion would be a very good one. I'd be super excited to jump into that. In terms of features and services, again, Uplay Plus, the year is so quickly coming to an end that I don't see another opportunity for them to be having a large event like this where they could announce something without pushing it very close to the wire and doing like a Christmas thing. So it's got to be, but we've been proven wrong so many times before. I'm hoping the live streaming integration with YouTube gets so much better, because for being the same company, I know we've talked in the past that Google is so big that despite being under one umbrella, they don't speak to each other, they don't work well with each other, and that's maybe what happened with the Chromecast Stadia stuff we talked about the other week. But these two have got to work better in integration for Stadia to get out there. It needs to be demoed and put in front of more people's eyes. And if it was easier to live stream and have some of these YouTube interaction stuff in place, then more people are going to see it and more people are going to sign up. And I piqued Duncan's interest.
No, it's just to give you something here. I'm not sure if me and Chief were talking about this yesterday. I think YouTube streaming is more or less there, and you won't believe what game leaked it. Chief, you can say, because I think you find it funny as well.
Family Feud, or Family Fortunes, as we used to call it in the UK. So yeah, Family Feud is the one that has documentation online about being able to live stream your game to other people on YouTube. Following this, I did hop on to Stadia, where the crowd play link is in Stadia. There is now a new section saying YouTube streaming coming soon to be able to enable. And in the side menu, when you're in a game now, where you've got the enhanced features for enabling crowd choice and what people can do, and showing viewer counts in the stream and stuff, is also now there a live stream to YouTube section with a coming soon banner. So they've definitely made some waves there. We're hoping to see, I guess, that next week. A lot of people don't understand why we like the fact that we could stream directly from Stadia to YouTube, but for creators, this is a massive thing. And I think for a lot of wannabe creators, this will make a huge difference, because it takes a lot of the push away from your upload bandwidth, especially, and it gives you the opportunity to potentially push a 4K stream to YouTube and be able to just tag on your extra stuff. So for quality of showing off Stadia, I think this is absolutely huge. For what it will do to the Stadia creator market, not so sure at this stage, because obviously it could just flood the market. So I think maybe this is one of the reasons why it's not just been dropped. But what do you think there, Mark?
Is it that it's coinciding with Family Feud, or have they firmly made a decision that Family Feud is the title that we want to push this with?
I think Family Feud it's one of their features where you can stream it for your family to join in and play. I think it wasn't actually meant to. I think they just weren't thinking. So I think this is a Ubisoft Family Feud sort of whoopsie.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited that, as you've just said, that it's something that's been missing, the integration stuff, the interaction stuff, and helping out a lot of people who maybe want to jump into the content creator and streaming realms and don't have the equipment to have it all running. They can't afford a expensive PC and everything, internet speeds and stuff that it takes to run a game, upload a game, stream a game. So it should help a lot of people out.
So I've just put it up on the stream here. So the exact wording was, additionally, Family Feud includes a live show feature that lets players broadcast their games directly to Twitch or YouTube. So it's also got Twitch integration. To play with their viewers, there's also player customization feature that controls unlockable items and I can't read that last bit on that screen. Unlockable items and titles. So it seems like it's a bit of both, whether it's a crowd play and the live stream, or whether they've just mixed up the two. But it certainly seems like YouTube streaming in our eyes.
Twitch is a surprising one to me. It seems like they would not blacklist it, but just prevent you from streaming. In the same way, if I want to live stream VR content built into the Oculus Quest, for example, it's a Facebook product. You can live stream to Facebook, and that is it. They, as far as they're concerned, Twitch and YouTube don't exist, and I thought it would have been a very similar model.
I think it's just covering themselves because this is for Xbox and PlayStation as well. So I think it's if you're on Xbox, you can't stream to YouTube, as far as I remember. You only can stream to Twitch. So I think it's just either or both in PlayStations.
Gotcha. That would make more sense to me. Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see Twitch in Stadia streaming options.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be an option, but yeah. Holtz, what are you looking forward to for this good stuff?
Oh, well, I'm expecting I've got a huge list. I'll start off with the first demos I think they're going to come out is Immortals to push, Uplay and Ubisoft titles. Day 5, then after announcing Day 5, drop Formula 1 2020 for a pro deal. And then I think they're actually going to offer as a demo for Beyond Light just to get people to populate Destiny 2 on Stadia. So they're the 3 things that I think the demos would include. But what I'm expecting to see EA to drop that FIFA 2021 is coming with next-gen graphics, and it will be released between the 10th and the 19th of November. That'll get me stoked, and I really like playing Grid with the Stadia community. So if EA can announce Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remastered, I'll be really excited to destroy some of the community's cars. You play as a racer or the police with all fancy tech, and it's just such a good game. Then also, if they can drop a release date for Fallen Jedi Order, possibly the same time as the Mandalorian on Disney Plus, I'll be really excited to start swinging the lightsaber around. Also, I'm happy to see the announced Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, so the likes of Rambo and Rain and Melina come to Mortal Kombat. And then carrying on, I'd love to see the likes of Capcom reveal the Village gameplay and maybe teasers which part of next year is actually coming out, and then secretly drop a Devil May Cry special edition out for Stadia. That'll be really cool. And speaking about release dates, I think they're going to drop Outcasters, Sekiro, Hello Neighbor, Hide and Seek, and Just Dance 21. And then me personally, I would love to see a show reel of Bandai Namco coming to Stadia. I want to see Dragon Ball Z Kakarot with all the new DLC characters coming. I want to see what's it called? Elden Rings, which is an action RPG game similar like Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice meets Bloodborne meets Dark Souls 3. I want to see family games like Digimon Survive, Paw Patrol, Mighty Pup, Save Adventure Bay, and Little Nightmares 2. That was such a good, successful game on Stadia. Drop that one for Pro coming up. And then last 2 things, Football Manager 21 and Nier Replicant. Fingers crossed.
Wow, that's quite a wish list you got going there. No hype coming from Holtz then this time.
Yes. Well, I've been expecting all year. So now, because we're getting close to the end of the year and there's only so many games left, they're the ones that I'm like, finally bring it for me. And when they announce a show reel for Bandai Namco, please give me Attack on Titan 2 as a sale price. That's all I'm asking. Not much.
That's fair play. Yeah, the game that never goes on sale. It's holding out for quite a lot there. Bandai Namco, I think, would be a huge drop. Obviously, there's some other rumors that we might touch on in a little bit. But Ben, what do you? What's your top predictions and what you want to do?
So, I mean, it's obviously they're going to announce a bunch of new games, all the Stadia Makers games, remind people of what's coming, in the next week or 2. Then they've got 5 EA games, I think that they said. So they've already confirmed Madden and FIFA and Fallen Order. So we have 2 surprise ones that we don't know what they are, and I think that they're going to drop next week. I think Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I think that would be an ideal one for them to throw in there.
Yeah, I thought that remaster's coming.
Yeah. I think that we need family share. We need all those features they've been promising. We need parties in the app, which would make, running it on a Shield TV work a lot better, because then you get a more similar experience to the Chromecast. Messaging, all that stuff needs to hit as well. I think that there is a chance that they might announce that on their anniversary they'll release Gen 2. so that it goes hand in hand with having RTX for Cyberpunk. So I think there's a chance they might announce that next week as well. I think it'll be one of the final announcements, when they're wrapping up. But I think that would be huge.
That's fair. I was going to bring up Gen 2 as a separate thing, as it's kind of slipped all of our lists. So we'll have a chat about that in a second. But I'm sure Duncan's going to bring up the Gen 2 stuff anyway as part of his wish list for good stuff.
I was actually going to be bringing up about next gen before you even mentioned about that, because we have had a tease of it this week again with all the news going about. It has been missed. Chorus, the game, has sort of said that Stadia is getting ray tracing in their game, so we will maybe hear something about Gen 2. My prediction is, okay, I've got many predictions here. We will not get a Cyberpunk demo. CD Projekt have been in record a number of times, and that's what Dustin DM'd me in the chat here. They are not doing a demo, was their last word, and that's a couple of times they've said that, even though the Good Stuff sign is in lovely neon, which is really cyberpunky. So I don't think we're going to get that. I also don't think we're going to get demos for Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs because of the marketing deals they have with Xbox, because I don't think Xbox would be too happy if they got demos and they didn't. So I don't think we're going to get demos for that. I do think we're going to get the Phoenix Rising demo. I think that's pretty much nailed on because it can't release next month. I've said this for a while. If it releases next month, it's just going to get lost. We're going to have all the big games coming. We've got the new consoles. Who's going to jump in to do Phoenix Rising? So I think it dropping next week makes total sense. What else could they announce? I think one of the demos we are going to get is going to be a first or second party Stadia game. Just to give that a go.
Outcasters have only been really quiet on Twitter. They haven't really been talking about their game at all, have they?
Yeah, so I think maybe a stealth drop as a pro game for Outcasters rather than the demo. The game, I'm all confused now because there's so much I think they can do, because they could go really, really wild, or it could be a damn squid. You just don't know. They could have just shot all everything this week. That's just why I'm so nervous to actually predict things here. There was something I was going to bring up here, which was sort of important, and has completely slipped my mind. It's just so exciting because you just do not know. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a studio announcement as well. They've bought someone else and they're saving it up there. Then I just wish I had my big Christmas list like Holtz had, and I had it all wrote down, go bang, 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 bang. I hope you've been a good boy, Holtz, because we want you to want all your predictions there. But yeah. With the Uplay Plus, I've just remembered it. I do not think we're going to be getting it next week. No, if you go and reread the article Stadia put out, it is holiday 2020. These games are coming. So I don't think it's going to be next week with that reading. You just have to be just careful with Stadia. And I'm going to be the downer here for you to keep everybody's hype in check there. So I've said no to Cyberpunk. I've said no to this, no to that. But I am really excited to actually see what to show off next week. I think it could be anything, and that is what is brilliant.
So Gandra did say in chat about he thinks the good stuff's going to be more around the tech features. So we know that there's been quite a lot of features, like we're saying, the YouTube streaming, the family share, and a few other bits that have kind of been missing that we're really hoping for. So hopefully we will get some of those feature drops. What are you going to say there, Ben?
I was going to say, what do you think the odds are of them launching or doing a stealth drop for Destroy All Humans and making it pro? Because they've been really quiet about that. They were supposed to launch it in August, and they just
it's been out a while
talking.
now on the other platforms, isn't it?
Yeah,
and SpongeBob.
And Google just stopped talking about it. So I'm wondering if maybe they're holding that for next week as well.
Yeah, it feels like
we know it's coming.
Feels like they're going more the stealth drop route on quite a lot of stuff. Although they have been building that hype, there is certainly some stuff that, the big gaps. Those EA games, like you said, we've always known that there's been 2 secret games, so hopefully they're going to at least tell us what they are in this event if they don't actually give them to us. Something like Squadrons dropping on Stadia, I think, would be an absolute awesome get. That game plays so well on the other systems, and just be able to hop into a multiplayer with quite a long single player story there as well, I think would be quite good. Going on to the ray tracing stuff, I believe we've been saying about ray tracing for quite a while on Stadia, and I was under the belief that Gen 1 is actually capable of ray tracing, so I'm not wholly convinced that ray tracing is directly tied to Gen 2. It might be that nobody's just utilized it because there's been no real need for it. Until recently, I would say ray tracing has been a bit of a gimmick, and I think a lot of people have still seen it that way. But with the likes of Cyberpunk and Legion really putting it up there as the forefront of functionality and control, being probably one of the main games or one of the first games to really showcase ray tracing and DLSS for what it is and what it can do. Hopefully that's put it in the minds of more people. I would certainly hope that we hear a Gen 2 announcement coming soon. I think we need a bit of a quality boost. Stadia is great quality. There's nothing undeniable about that. But it does always seem like it's running at console medium graphics. So if they do announce something big, I'm hoping it'll be if Gen 2 comes, I think we need to push that graphics limit up. They keep saying about the power of Stadia, so I'm really hoping that something big happens. But don't put down Uplay Plus. I need Uplay Plus. If that doesn't come to Stadia ahead of Watch Dogs Legion, at least, I'm not going to be playing Legion on Stadia, unfortunately, because I have my Uplay Plus subscription and I can play it in so many other places. I don't want to have to rebuy it for that, especially when I know Uplay Plus is coming at some point. So what do you think about that, Duncan?
I was going to reword that slightly. I think it's still going to come, but I think they're going to drop the games a bit slower. I think it has to come either with Legion or Valhalla. It has to, because that's the perfect marketing thing. I know what my other prediction was. I think we're going to get a Destiny 2 bump up to 4K. That's my other one. I think they've been waiting for the new console, so they're going to announce that next week as well. There's my wish list as well.
So is there any other predictions that we think for... Yeah, go on, Huds.
I'll tell you what I would like to see. There's an Assassin's Creed, I think it's Unity, or it could be Syndicate, that's got an online player mode. If Ubisoft can actually add Stream Connect, where you and a group of friends can sort of stalk your kill and you can see each other's camera, I think that'll be a cool feature to bring more life back into the older Ubisoft titles.
It's Assassin's Creed Unity.
So it's Unity where you can have your friends and sort of target the kill and one of your friends hide. So if they can bring Stream Connect, that'll be a nice little feature.
Yeah, so I think Stream Connect, I've said it many times, is one of the most undersold features on Stadia. So I'm hoping more of those Ubisoft games come with it. Legion, I don't think has got any multiplayer, although something that we didn't mention about that game is Stadia and Ubisoft have announced that cross-save, cross-progression is going to be available for Legion. So again, with kudos to Ubisoft, as Mark said. They come out swinging on all of their platforms, and Bungie was probably one of the first to properly show cross-save, cross-progression, but then we got it for Elder Scrolls Online as well, with even cross-purchase. It's probably one of the biggest things for Elder Scrolls Online. So the fact that Legion's following suit and we've got that cross-save as well, hopefully they will bring multiplayer down the line, and that will be cross-platform on top. So there's been some talk in chat about some of the other potential free-to-play games coming to Stadia or on their wish list. Apex, for example, now it's gone completely cross-play. Maybe that's one of the missing EA games. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I would go with that could be because, but wasn't it sort of leaked out? It was on the press release, and the press release got changed. So I think Apex is. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say that's a fair bet that is going to come. However, how are they going to get round it? Is it going to be a pro game? Because as it's free to play, and all the free to play games are locked behind pro. Just to bring up here, just as a question, you were talking about Stream Connector. Do you think Stadia is now under pressure because of the PlayStation UI reveal, where you'll be able to do Stream Connect with any game? Do you think they're going to have to push that out so you can do Stream Connect with your mates when you're playing?
Well, it's game locked at the moment, isn't it? So I think this YouTube streaming might be that bridge. I think that might be the direct streaming will be the Stream Connect option that you can either have it in game or stream to YouTube, something like that. Maybe you could stream to your party, right? Maybe it'd be quite cool to be able to do that regardless of what game you're in. Just stream it to your party so people can see you playing in a different game, and be a bit more of a community play and watch type scenario. So there's quite a lot of possibilities, I feel, with the Stream Connect, and it's just so underused. I'd really love to see it happen more. And this is one of the reasons why I want those Ubisoft titles on Uplay Plus on Stadia, because I would play them because it's got Stream Connect, and it would give me much more reason to play on Stadia than to hop onto Geforce Now or Shadow just because of the Uplay Plus subscription. I do miss the Stream Connect. Playing Stream Connect with Ghost Recon and Division 2 just made life so much easier, and it just gave a much more squad feel to the game. So if Rainbow Six Siege does come, having Stream Connect would be absolute killer in my book. But what do you think about these, Mark?
Yeah, I like the fact that they've already have it and have had it for such a long time, but it's locked behind those two games. The fact that it's those two games, I've never even experienced it. One, I don't have a very large community of people who play on Stadia, and so I only own the Division 2 recently when it went on sale, so I haven't even had the chance to experience this. So people who aren't like up on it and keeping up with the Stadia news are probably very unaware that it's actually a thing, because we know that their marketing is getting better now. They will probably, I'm hoping it's something that they'll kind of reiterate over the next, in the 3-day event coming up. But yeah, a lot. There's going to be a lot of people out here now like, wow, look at this thing that PlayStation has just invented. So, yeah.
It might be another not invented here, but certainly puts a lot of eyes on Stadia. So I feel like when xCloud officially launched and when Luna did their announcements, that actually did a lot for Google, because it put a lot of eyes on cloud technologies that people didn't really believe it or just didn't hear about it from the Google side, but suddenly it's a thing, and then they start looking at alternatives. So maybe it could work out in a better way. But we'll come on to some of the other bits in a second. Ben, what do you think?
About Stream Connect?
Yeah, and the other stuff Duncan mentioned there.
Yeah, sorry, I stepped away for a minute, so I missed part of it.
That's
yeah.
okay, we'll go on to Holtz.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't mind a little Stream Connect window that sort of gives me notifications where my friend could actually say, look what I've done the last 30 seconds. And then say I'm playing a game, and then I've got like a little FIFA Stream Connect window where my friend's just streaming his stream as well. So at the same time, I'm sort of focused on the same one. And at the same time, when other features like crowd play, crowd choice, or joining people's games, I can just sort of toggle a button and jump into his stream from that, just from that little Stream Connect window.
Yeah, that's quite a cool idea. If you've got, as I said, if it was almost like the party, you could see what other games, see actually what they're playing.
Of course, in the settings, your friends would actually say, give permissions to my friends to see my stream, or you request it, or a friend sends a notification at that time. Just something to get you involved between friends.
Yeah, definitely. I think I kind of lost my track a little bit there. I got so hyped over Stream Connect, I completely forgot the other points that you mentioned there, Duncan. There was something I was really going to touch on then as well. Go on, give us a recap.
I can't remember because my head's, like I said, it was about Stream Connect and how should it be introduced to more other games. Could we see a UI update or a tease of the next UI update at this next week? That's what I really want. It's a really big refresh of the UI and just make it more user friendly, get the messaging in and all that. But I have to say, I really like Holtz's point there with the recording the last 5 minutes or come and see what I've just done. It would be absolutely amazing that. And even just getting sharing on Twitter and stuff, because that's just easy marketing as well for them.
So that's two things. Thanks, you helped me remember some of it. With the captures, right? At the moment, I don't think we can still share the captures at all from any of the apps or even online. We have to download them and then do something with them. So it would be great to see that share. The other is, at the moment, we're locked to this 30-second video capture. I only record the last 30 seconds. Do you think that maybe we would see some kind of extension on that, or an option to say, no, just constantly record my last 5 minutes, or lengthen that 30-second window? Or do you think are always going to be like 30-second clips?
I think it'll
Ben,
be maybe 90 seconds tops. I think that Google's going to be hesitant to bump that up to like a 5-minute range. I think maybe a minute to 90 seconds if they increase it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good amount there. Holtz, what do you think?
Well, it depends how fast you can get the notification for it. If I requested to watch your stream or I had a notification window at the bottom, I would probably like about 2 minutes, maybe. And maybe have the option that once I activate the stream link, Stream Connect, I can sort of fast forward to the point you're making reference to. I don't think I would want to watch 5 minutes of footage and someone goes, yeah, it was right at the end. So maybe if they have got like a feature where I can rewind, fast forward and sort of edit the stream a little bit to the point that you're trying to show me. That'll be interesting, but not on too long.
Fair enough. Go on, Mark.
Yeah, I think potentially a compromise there. I think if it would be good to get the option, and if you increase the time, you maybe decrease the video recording quality. So if you bump it up to something like 5 minutes, well, it's a 720p clip now or something.
Yeah, I think probably I think the live stream stuff, I think would be wanted more over that. I think, as you mentioned here, having the ability to share just those images, even just the static captures directly from Stadia, it's a bit weird that we can't tweet them or the usual share functionality direct from there. So hopefully that they address that, especially with the clips. You would have thought there'd be a direct upload to YouTube there, but again, do you really want to be dumping 30 seconds on YouTube? It's just really difficult to be able to share those out reliably, I think.
Just imagine here's one. Here's just putting something out here. What if all our gaming sessions have been recorded and we're going to get a big dump of screenshots and movies of our achievements? That would be flipping amazing, wouldn't it?
We know they've got the AI tech to do that, so they could pull all the best kills, the best achievements, everything. And going back to the share thing, this is one of the annoyances. There's a couple of 30-second clips that I've recorded knowing that I've got that 30-second back window to show off something. One was Human Fall Flat. I finally managed to raise Frankenstein. So anybody who's managed to play Humans Fall Flat long enough to know what that means, that's a huge achievement. But because I would have to upload that to YouTube, put it as an unlisted link, and then send it out, was just too much effort to be bothered. So it's there, but I'm not going to shout about it or show it off because it's just too much effort. So just having those live share links from those captures for both images and videos, especially, it must be on a drive somewhere, right? It can't be that difficult to just make a public link to view it somewhere. Okay, so I think we've given Stadia quite a lot of hype and positivity this time. Before we move on, is there anything else that people want to add into the mix for the Good Stuff event next week?
I have more of a general question. Do we have any more exact details other than 20th to the 22nd? Times, live streams, anything like that? I know they actually shared a link this time, which I was super impressed with before. And it was like, we're having an event. We'll let you know 10 minutes before where you can see it. So I was impressed to at least see
a YouTube channel, I thought.
Was it just, I saw a link and I thought maybe they had prepared themselves better, but
No, here's a link to the Stadia YouTube channel.
No. Okay.
Hopefully we'll see something pop up soon. Right. Go on, Duncan.
I was going to say it is confirmed for the normal time on Tuesday, 5 o'clock UK, which is 12 o'clock Eastern. That be right? And 9 a.m. Pacific. So it is coming that time, they have said. So get your predictions. Are we going to talk about? Do you want to talk about Pac-Man, because that was part of the team of this?
So actually, there was a few games, and I don't know if anybody's got a good recollection. Holtz, I'm looking at you, of all the games that were showcased in their new advert, and I think Pac-Man was one of them, right, Duncan? That's what you're referencing.
Pac-Man wasn't even mentioned. It was in the background as a wee teaser for us lovely people who like go hunting for stuff. So it looks like for me, it looks like a Pac-Man battle royale of sorts, and it looks like Bomberman 64. Or is it Bomberman 64? I forgot the name. Super Bomberman R online, where you've got the different screens right beside it, so it looks like a Pac-Man but battle royale somehow.
I think with all the Bomberman news, I think you're going to have a 64-player Pac-Man scenario on Stadia.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It clearly wasn't an accident. I know their marketing has been lapsed in the past, but I still don't think they would let a leak like that slip past. It was definitely like a tease. And yeah, I 100% agree. From the screen, you can see it looks like the Pac-Man level, but there are openings at the side, and that 100% reminds me of what you get on Super Bomberman 64 with the different levels. What would be quite cool on that is in terms of playing against each other, if you could play as the ghosts and hunt down like these multiple Pac-Men.
Oh, now we're getting into super hype territory.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just putting it out there. Sorry, Pac-Men and women. Achieve this. Pac people.
Thank you, Peter Parker, in the chat. He's listed all the games. It was Pac-Man, Sekiro, Madden, Fallen Order, Valhalla, Cyberpunk, PGA, Outcasters, and Immortals.
Excellent. Yeah, cheers for that. So, yeah, Outcasters have been going nuts on Twitter. They have been for quite some time now. I don't know if we did ever see an official release date for them, so I think that we might see something from them over this 3-day event. So that's a good point that you brought up there, Mark, about the times. They've touted 3 days of demos, streams. All right, Ben's going to have to drop off. Thanks for coming by, Ben. But no, is it going to be all day? Is it 3 days as in an hour per day? And then we're just going to get the live demo announcements. I think that has been a little bit kind of up in the air. So it'd be interesting to see what those were. But what are your thoughts on what do you think these 3 days worth of streams and events is going to be? Do you think it's going to be a 20-minute premiere at the usual announcement time and then some games are going to drop? Or do you think that they're actually going to do some events like we see from Night City Wire or War Table, where they're actually going to put on a show for a few hours?
If I'm honest, and I'll set my expectation realistically so that we don't overhype it and nobody's disappointed. I think it will be the pre-recorded event stuff that will it'll be a scheduled upload to the channel. Maybe if they stealth drop a game during that, it would be good if it followed into some kind of live stream. I know they've got a couple of content creators who they kind of did the testing of with the live streaming features before it was publicly available. If they've worked out something with one of those, so it links to maybe a live stream after. So if they stealth drop a game, the event finishes, you know how you get like the autoplay thing, and it jumps over to one of those content creators live streaming that game on Stadia would be pretty good.
What do you think, Holtz?
Do exactly what Nintendo do with the Treehouse. Sort of do a show reel for the premiere, and then actually, like just mentioned, then go to a panel where they start speaking about the games, or they start showing actual playing the games in a Stadia environment. I think that would be a great little thing to do.
What do you reckon, Duncan?
There we go. I was trying to look up the person's name. I completely forgot his name, who was in the last one. He's done an unboxing and talked about Stadia. He's already hinted that he's going to be doing that there. And we've got Mr. Beast has just confirmed he is going to be doing like voting options on games coming up next week as well. So I think next week is going to be massive. Thank you, Eddie Player One, for that tip off there. So my feeling is, and we're going to get a couple of minutes a day, and it's not going to be a big massive presentation, and then there'll be a click to play icon there for the demos, and then you'll be able to play, and they're going to have a big showcase. I know we're massive YouTubers here, but they're going to get even bigger ones to come here and show it off, and they're going to pull out the big guns to try and start really pushing this forward. So I think they've got it planned well. It all depends on the games. That's what it's going to come down to, and the features. So I'm actually quite excited to see how it's going to play. I'm keeping my I'm trying to keep my expectations pretty there because it's Stadia, because you just do not know what is going to happen, and anything could, especially at this time, because there is so many bonkers rumors going on about, and you just can't. It's just really exciting, but you want to keep the excitement down just so you don't get overhyped.
Well,
I want to push it. Push. But go on, House.
If any of my hype actually comes true, Google, hit me up. I'll do some Let's Plays. I'll announce my YouTube channel and play them games. So, a bit of fun.
It was the last Connect, which has hit home for me in terms of keeping those expectations down, because there was like a week leading up of like hype man tweets to what we all thought was a pretty lackluster Connect. Which I just can't place it right now in terms of what they've been saying and the stuff they've been tweeting and the marketing. I literally have no idea, so I'd like to keep my expectations low. Who knows? Yeah,
I'm going with you there. I think we've learned our lesson from the last Connect. I reckon we're going to see, as somebody said in chat here, is it Mark Make of Chaos, 3 mini Connects. So we'll see 3 20-minute kind of pre-recorded, one for each day, and I think the demos will drop, following those announcements. So they'll probably hit on Stadia like they usually do during those pre-recorded announcements. Hopefully they do it as a proper premiere this time, so that people can't just start skipping through the stream looking for those pieces of information. I think that was a bit lackluster last time. They should have just been premiere, so that people have to watch it like a stream. And then at the end of the 20 minutes, everybody goes off and finds those games. If Mr. Beast plays Stadia, I think the internet will melt. So it would be a great way to do. I'm a big fan of Mr. Beast and Mr. Beast gaming channels. And if he covers a game, it gets millions of views within hours. So if they do go after somebody, I hope it would be something like that, because I think dropping one of these games, the demos with Stream Connect and stuff, I think Mr. Beast would be all over that. And I think Stadia would get such good coverage there. So I really do hope that they pick somebody better. My kids loved TDM. I really did not think that was the greatest way to showcase or the right market for Stadia. Whereas I think some of those other big YouTubers, I think, would really hit that home. So it would be really cool to see. yes, my hype level keeps creeping up. We really do want to see the best from Stadia. So only time will tell what will happen over these 3 days. But at the end of the day, we've only got a couple more days to wait. So hopefully we can't build it up too much more before they actually drop. And we'll get into all of those games.
Depends what they tweet between now and then.
Okay. So I think we've pretty much covered anything. Is there anything else that you guys want to mention for the good stuff?
Please drop some community competitions where people can win some prizes, some Google swag or some free upcoming games or something like that.
It'd be nice for them to actually engage with the community a bit more. I think, yes, they're building up hype and stuff on Twitter, but I don't feel that they engage with the creators as much. I know in the early days, I think they had a meeting with a whole bunch of YouTubers to get feedback and stuff, but I don't think they've really been touching base with a lot of content creators like some of the other platforms do. I certainly don't feel from our channel that we've had as much attention from Google as we have some of the other products that we create or we interface with at least. So I'm hoping that that's just been part of their marketing plans, that they've not really been wanting to push it. So they're going at their own pace and they're really starting to ramp it up. So hopefully we'll see more from them in future. Okay, so before we move off of Stadia, anything else? Cool. So, Stadia, 3-day event, super hype.
I just want to add one more thing. We were all hyped about Stadia here, and I think everybody can see that. Over the last number of months, I think we've been getting a bit of stick, but we've been sticking a bit into Stadia. I think it's just to show that you can be even-handed, and when Stadia's doing stuff really well, everybody will go, absolutely, you're knocking out in the park at the moment. Keep it up.
Yeah, well, we're only hard on, I'll reiterate, we are not fanboys of any particular platform here. We want them all to succeed. They all suck in certain ways and they're all super awesome in others, but we're not going to sugarcoat that. And if it's not doing great, we're going to hate on it until they fix it. So Google are fixing the main problems that we've got with them right now, which is marketing and lack of anything. So they're really stepping it up. So kudos, Google. On to the one that we are going to probably hate on a little bit this week, because they were all hype and now they are nowhere to be seen. Luna. Amazon Luna. What do you guys think? Who are they? Do you remember them? They came out swinging a couple of weeks ago. Was it months ago? I don't know. It's been quite a while. They signed a pitch that we could go and play all this wonderful stuff on Amazon, and their Twitter account went mental, and now it's gone a bit quiet. Now, I know that Duncan's got something to say, so I'm going to leave him till last. Holtz, what are your thoughts on Amazon Luna?
No, it should have been out by now for early access for the people who request the codes. I mean, personally, I'm not bothered because it's not even in the UK area yet. But for the people who actually are hyped and want to test it, they should have pushed it out by now to sort of get the hype ready for the sort of what I assume Ubisoft channels and all these other fall games that could actually help push Luna. So it's a shame that we're not seeing nothing yet.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I'm personally waiting to hear from Duncan, because when you were saying about Stadia's communication with content creators, I feel like Amazon and Duncan and their Luna Twitter account, they're on daily speaking terms at the moment from what I see on Twitter. But yeah, I think people are playing it. I know not publicly. It's probably some kind of very closed NDA alpha. Whether it's regular people who they chose at random, whether it's content creators and most likely Twitch streamers. I do agree with the sort of very active and loud marketing that they did at the start, that there should be something to fill the gap. It's a very weird move to kind of blow up like that and then go quiet, because it does concern people. Obviously, it's all just speculative, but we're all wondering, like, is it quiet because they're building up to something? Is it quiet because there's issues? what I would like to see before too long is just gameplay. Like, it's going to be through Twitch, most likely, with some big Twitch content creators, and I'm all for that. I'd love to jump on and just see a few of them play a couple of those different titles live on Twitch and just see how it runs. And that would be a good build up to a more public release, or just like a general release. Who knows?
Yeah, so my big concern is it's always been pitched as US only. I think that's not a great way to instantly market this always on play on anything, anywhere cloud service in my book. But go on, Duncan.
Go on, me then. Chief, just before I say it, I have showed you the evidence of this, haven't I?
Yep, I have seen evidence of this.
Yes, you have seen it. Luna is in testing, and some people do have it, and it is out in the public. There must be lots of NDAs and stuff, but it is getting tested out there. And we're going to be announcing where tomorrow on our show, and we're keeping it, because, as you know, it's very hard to actually get news about Luna at this moment in time, because it is actually pretty quiet. But there has been some tidbits as well. We do know Twitch streaming is coming. We think that was announced as a response to one of the comments on Twitter here today. And they are integrating Twitch in from day one. And 100% you're going to be getting, you'll be able to play on Twitch, they have said, and you'll be able to watch on Luna as well. So there is some news going out there. They're not actually blazing it out there, but you have to go looking for it. So yes, Luna is definitely out there, and we know how to hook up our Luna controller to your app now. There's your another bit of hints.
Yeah, so obviously check out LunaCast tomorrow. We're not going to go into too much detail on this, but it does appear that there is Luna in some people's hands, but the fact that it's been super quiet, I agree with Mark, is that there's potential issues there. Otherwise, we would be seeing a flood of information on YouTube or Twitch, or both. Probably Twitch, then YouTube. But definitely some information, but it has been radio silence on the net. So I think they are being super selective with those invite codes right now, and there probably is embargoes and NDAs in place, which is a little bit sad to see, because it's really hyped up, and I just hate it. I hate this marketing style of hype, but we're not going to show you anything. We're not going to give you any dates. And I don't think that was the greatest way. And this just, in my mind, puts more emphasis on me saying we don't think it's going to see it this year. And I think that they were reactionary. They were afraid that people were going to forget about them with the big stuff coming from Stadia, the big xCloud announcements, etc. So I think they just wanted to make sure that they were thought of as a gaming platform, but I really don't think they're ready. Now, I know a lot of people have said they're touting Legion, and obviously Legion's coming in just a couple of weeks now as part of their service with the Ubisoft channel, but I just, with it not even being out in the US publicly right now, 2 weeks is such a short turnaround to drop that. Obviously, Amazon's got the money to do it, but I just don't feel, until we start seeing information out on the internet, that that's going to be viable. I think it's going to be a later release. What do you guys think on this, Holt?
Well, they have to get it out sooner, don't they, with them big, huge titles like Immortals and Watch Dogs. And if they don't, if they miss the point, then they better have some marketing ready to show us what they can actually deliver for next spring, what games they've got. Because if they don't deliver on day one for Watch Dogs, I'll just forget about that service until there's actually a game that I actually want to play on that service. That's if I was actually US based. So a lot of people are going to say if they can't deliver on the games that they want, it's easily going to get pushed aside and forgot about, especially with the graphics that they're only promoting or touting. Yeah, I wouldn't like to switch on to Luna in February, March, and they say, we've got Watch Dogs Legions 4K. I'd be like, move past that now, or I've already got available on other platforms. So if they don't hurry up, they're easily going to be overshadowed by like the Stadia.
So we'll come back onto that quality point in a second, but Mark, what's your take on this?
I think they could have all of the money in the world, which Amazon basically do, but logistically speaking, 2 weeks is absolutely terrifying to try and launch a service like this, in which we would expect a lot more marketing and even open beta testing and things in place before it officially went live. Even if it is just in the US, I would expect more by this point. So again, keeping expectations down as we like to try and do. I would say no for it being out like at the same time as Legion, for example. But absolutely agree with Holtz. It's got to be a fast follower if it isn't day of, because they absolutely at risk of then just being forgotten about, because they would then be trying to actively market the larger games that have already come out and people have played them. They've made their decisions. They've chose their platforms. They've bought the game, and now they don't want to buy it again on a different platform.
Yeah, Duncan, what do you think?
To be honest, nothing would surprise me. It could come out next week and it wouldn't surprise me. It could come out next year and it wouldn't surprise me. It's just one of them at the moment. Well, again, there is news about Luna out there if you actually go really, really digging for it. And Ubisoft are 100% on board, because they have announced this week with their Assassin's Creed playthroughs that Luna, as soon as the Ubisoft channel Assassin's Creed is launching on it, we're trying to look at the wording of the language to see if it's going to be coming out when Assassin's Creed comes out, but it's very ambiguous. So it's really hard to actually nail them down to see what is going to happen. I believe that we are probably going to see some movement soon, even if it's just in the US. Some people will get it, and I believe we're going to get a load of Twitch streamers are going to play it and really promote it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We obviously know that it's going to come with that Twitch integration day one, which we feel that YouTube probably should have done with Stadia. But, I think it's a much bigger project and product. I still feel that Twitch is managed by a much smaller team, closer to the Amazon kind of main tech stack now than YouTube probably is within Google, so they can be a bit more reactionary on that. And obviously they already had that kind of crowd play and these hooks into all of the games, like Hyperscape launched straight away with the Crown Connect, where you connect Twitch directly in the game to get your crowd choice, and also obviously Twitch drops and stuff. So I think they're quite ahead already on a lot of that kind of integration. And with Holtz, with Cyberpunk 2077, Legion coming out, touting 4K 60, ray tracing, all of this good stuff, and Amazon Luna going, yeah, you can play it at 1080, 60, maybe, with no mention of any of the ray tracing stuff. I do feel that even if they did launch it in the next couple of weeks, saying, come and play Legion on 1080 on Luna is not going to be the best marketing situation for them, when you're going to have, obviously, Google being able to play this on the Chromecast at 4K, Geforce Now, although it's 1080, full ray tracing, 2080 pluses. We didn't really touch on that, but maybe Geforce Now is going to tout some other cards for Cyberpunk, because it'll be a good time, considering the 3080s will be mainstream as of, well, actually yesterday. I think most people would have been getting their 3080s. So by the end of the month, a lot more people will have 3080s. So it'll be very interesting to see what Geforce does along those lines. But I do feel like Luna's coming out swinging with the wrong quality for those sort of games right now. So I think I've probably said all I need to say as far as Luna and quality goes.
Well,
but
I hope
what do you think there, Holtz?
I think the marketing team should right now already have plans to bring out a new Fire Stick 2021 edition with a controller, all ready to promote, to rival when Stadia comes on their Google TV, and ready for when GeForce Now upgrade their cards or xCloud. So they've got roughly that time window to start thinking, now this is when we need to interject into this space and promote the fall game's just gone, which will only be a few months old, and then the new spring lineups. But then them spring lineups have to be 4K HDR ready for us gamers to actually go, okay, well, I want to be a Luna founder. I want a new Fire Stick. I want a new controller at a bundled price, and I'm ready to go. That's the
a
window.
good point. Obviously, the Google Prime Day, Google Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day just passed, and they slashed the price of their Fire TV 4Ks, and they slightly discounted their Fire Cubes, which I completely forgot even existed. So could it be that? Oh, there we go. Let somebody bought a Fire Cube. I think you're right. I think a bundle with a Fire Cube, Luna controller, and some subscription would be a great addition to that. But whether the Fire TV, especially a Fire TV or a Fire Cube at 4K is useless to play Luna, touting their 1080p resolution. So unless it comes with some nice upscaling capabilities, or they do up that, it does feel like they're trying to target, you can play Luna on your Fire tablet, because we know that their tablets don't tout a high resolution. So going more for the play everywhere situation on all of their current devices, because they pushed Android back, right? They're actually going to launch via the browser on iOS and the Fire devices, which are a lot lower end than a lot of Android devices. So it feels like they're targeting more the budget gamer than the kind of high end games. So maybe that's their market. Mark, you
I was just going to say on the Android side, I think there was confirmation that even though it's not available at launch, it would be within the week of launch. So it's a very fast
fair
follow.
enough. So it does seem like they're going the kind of everywhere budget approach more than the mid to high end gamer, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts on this?
They've actually came out. They've actually said that they are not going for the high end gamer. They are going for people who want to play games, to see the games like Valhalla, but they don't have the equipment to get it. So they're going for the budget conscious gamer would maybe be the way to do it. The people who don't maybe have the money for the next Xbox or the next PlayStation, they're going, but they want to be increase in specs. That's who they're going after. I think it's really interesting just to show you the size of Amazon and how aggressive they can be. I'm not sure if you've seen the news today. This isn't the gaming news. This is just Amazon, the company, to bolster their Prime Video library. They have today bought a film coming to America too. What's the actual wording of it? It's Coming to America, which is the follow-up to Coming to America, which is the Eddie Murphy movie. How much did they spend in that to make that Amazon exclusive?
Yeah, that's a good point. And Amazon Studios really are like putting out quite a lot of content now for Amazon Originals and stuff. So
Treasurector has put it into the comments there, $125 million to get that movie. This is just showing you what these guys are going to be playing about with. So when people are saying, Amazon aren't going to make a move, for what kind of studios could that have bought? Even the mid-tier or the small ones, you're going to see Amazon, you're going to see Google, and you're going to see Microsoft go out here and buy people. So this is just something you need to keep an eye out in the market here. These guys are going to drop serious money to get content. So that was 125 million for one movie. That isn't multiple movies, one movie, to just bolster their library. I think we're in a completely different sort of landscape now, where the Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are not scared to put the money down.
that might be actually something I'd watch on Prime Video then, considering I've had it for a couple of years, and I think I occasionally remember to go and look through the content on there. But I think that's probably what they're looking for, isn't it? Trying to bring people back to the platform, considering it's a Prime edition. I'm kind of hoping that if they're going that route, that they're just going to roll in Luna Plus to the Prime deal, or the Prime stuff's been £90 in the UK for quite some time, and they keep adding stuff to it, like with the Prime Gaming and all the rest of it. So it just seems right that they would just roll Luna Plus into that subscription as well. and I hope that they do, even if they just increase the price of the Prime a little bit and made Prime Video, music, or adding in the Luna Plus just to bolster that a little bit more. I do feel that a lot of those services are kind of mediocre at best, maybe because they're rolled into this massive Prime subscription, but who knows? Like you say, Amazon is a massive company. They are going all out as far as budgets and stuff concerned, so it'll be very interesting to see that going forwards. What do you guys think about Luna Plus rolling into Prime? Holtz?
I would welcome it. I would really welcome it. But I think they have to be very careful, because I remember when Amazon brought Prime and he was charging for deliveries, and then they included sort of music, and then they included like the TV shows. A lot of people was unhappy that their service got increased because they were adding more services to it. So you have to be careful. You have to let people know that if they're going to put Luna Plus in that, you have to start saying our subscription is changing in a year's time to add gaming. We hope you got to be part of the Prime membership, but if not, just let them go, or give them a different Prime package, because there's going to be people out there that just want to shop Amazon. They don't care about gaming.
Yeah, that's true. Go on. I know Mark's itching, so go on, Mark.
As a consumer, the easiest option is that they just have Prime as one thing, and it does include everything. That if they do include Luna in that package, it may involve increasing the price, as Holt said, as long as they let people know beforehand. It's just going to be one of those kind of deals where, we're Amazon, we're offering you all of this, we're in a position of power here. You either take it and we increase the price, or you can not have Amazon Prime anymore. And I think you'll find that above 90% of people will be happy just to keep the subscription. As somebody who's going to use the Luna service though, and somebody who has Prime, it's a more consumer friendly option to have just the single package like that. Part of my brain starts screaming like fair trade and being consumer friendly and letting people choose. The other part of me thinks people are stupid and they don't know what they want, and they don't have the time to research these things. Like, this package comes with this, but I won't be able to do that. And it's one of the slightly confusing things I feel with Microsoft's ecosystem at the moment. They're obviously heading in that direction. They're going a great way, but for the ultimate subscription that gets you access to obviously playing Game Pass on PC and on Xbox and on xCloud, the games between those free services vary, and it's very unclear when something comes out, which one it's coming to, why it's not on the other one when I'm paying one subscription. There's different. So that kind of confusion is what they should be trying to avoid. So one package includes all of this, I think, is the best way to go, even if it upsets a few people.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Go on, Duncan.
They've already said they're going to be looking at integrating Prime into Luna. I'm going to shout out Kelly here, because I think she actually, summed it up the best here. I think they're going to do something like what they do with Amazon Music. When you're a Prime you get a wee bit of the music, you don't get the whole music. So I think there's going to be the Prime package on Luna will be like half the games or a third of the games. On Luna Plus, you get access to some of them just to tempt you to get into the fuller one, and you get a discount if you want the upgrade. So I think that's how they're going to get rounded to keep the price lower, not the price lower, to integrate it into Prime without trying to get you to upsell you to the full Luna package or the Luna Plus channel and all the other channels going forward.
So do you think it'd be like the Kids Unlimited as well, that if you're a pro, then you get a £1 or £2 a month discount? So rather than it being $5.99 if you just have Luna Plus, if you've got Prime and you want to take Luna Plus, it's going to be $3.99 or $4.99 or something.
Yeah, it'd be something like that as well. I think they're just going to. I don't think you're going to get Luna Plus in the Prime. I think they're going to work out some way of either lowering the price like that, or to give you the wee sample just to tempt you into it.
Excellent. All right.
I think I may have even just talked myself out of that. I do agree that would be a better approach, because thinking about if you've got, the varied amount of people who have Prime for different reasons, you could have Barbara and Derek who like next day delivery for cat food, and they have no interest in Luna. So increasing it to the point of the full subscription and having the full package would really ruffle their feathers. So yeah, that approach would make more sense. But yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see what they do. Apologies to any Barbaras and Dereks. That was just a completely random example.
Well, I don't think why they should add it, because they didn't do it with Audible, they didn't do it with Amazon Fresh, and they didn't do it with Amazon Music. So if they actually wanted to add it to the description, they should have added them first before considering adding gaming.
Well, you've got Prime Video, which is fully rolled in, right? And then Prime Music is the example that Duncan was saying there. You get a poor selection at best of Prime Music, we'll call it. And then you've still got the Music Unlimited, which I think is the £10 a month on top of everything else, like Apple Music and Spotify and all the rest of it, having that subscription. So,
unless what they do is, where they offer Twitch, a free Twitch sub, with your Prime subscription, maybe they can offer a free Luna rental, just like a game for a certain time period, and you just redeem one of them games to play per month.
Yeah, I think it might be like, as Duncan was saying, a teaser if you're on Prime to get something out of Luna, but you still need that full subscription. So I think that would be a good way to do it. So we've got a couple of other topics I want to cover here. I didn't think we were going to run quite so long on these. Is there anything else people want to say on Amazon Luna at this stage?
No, can you imagine how long we'd be talking if we had the full panel?
Yeah, no. It's quite lucky actually on that front. So there was another big announcement from, kind of side announcement from the Xbox world, obviously taking quite a big impact on xCloud. For those that you missed it, we put up a news video yesterday, thanks to Cloudy and Duncan's lot there, letting us know on this one as a heads up. We kind of saw this coming, but a lot of people, naysayers, were saying, no, it's not going to happen. Phil Spencer of Xbox has come out and said, we've bought Bethesda. We've got no reason to put new games out on other platforms. We've got our whole ecosystem. Why would we, essentially? Which is pretty much all but confirming that future Bethesda titles beyond those that have already been committed to certain platforms for this generation as such, or for the games that have been announced, will no longer be available on any other platforms other than Xbox, xCloud, Xbox Game Pass, PC, etc. So I accidentally said I was quite pleased about this, mainly because people hate on Xbox for not having exclusives and PlayStation playing the constant exclusive game. So kudos to Microsoft. They've come out swinging, said we're not spent $7.5 billion on Bethesda and all the other game studios under ZeniMax for them to be played on other platforms. So screw you, PlayStation. So what do you guys think about this? Mark, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, come on, everyone saw it coming, right? I'm not upset by this. I'm not loyal to either console. And at the end of the day, Microsoft's position is, you've paid $7.5 billion for something. You can do what the hell you want with it. That gives you every right to make whatever decision you want. And Phil's justification behind it is, we're not locking it behind the barrier of a console, for example. The point, which I think is a pretty good point, is the ecosystem that we are building will put these games available on our multiple services to make it easily accessible, depending on where you want to play it. If it's PC, if it's a console, if it's on your phone, they're giving you the accessibility options, but they're keeping it within their ecosystem, and that's what they've paid for. Basically, with their statement at the time saying on a case-by-case basis, was basically just marketing and PR language for no. So yeah, I'm not surprised and I'm not upset.
Yeah, fair enough. Duncan?
Yeah, it's, again, I think we said this before. This deal is not going to really affect people for until many years down the line, and when by that time, xCloud is going to be more mature, and everybody will be able to play it no matter where they want to play it. We're in the big leagues now, where it's now like these big, massive dinosaurs of companies are just knocking the bells out from each other here, and they're just fighting to get all the content onto their platforms as soon as possible. And there's going to be more deals like this as the Ubisoft rumors have went off, which I don't believe. There's lots of Ubisoft rumors and who's buying them, but we should be expecting these deals going forward, because everybody is just trying to pull all the content in, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be flicking between Microsoft, you're going to be flicking to Google, you're going to be flicking to Amazon, because everybody is going to have content you want. It's going to be the same as what we do now when we go for Netflix. We go to Amazon as well. You go to Hulu, you go to whatever service, HBO, anything like that. You're just Disney Plus, yes. See that again, I'm going down a wee rabbit hole here. Exactly like Disney, because this week they have announced they're basically dropping their cinema listings. They're going all in Disney Plus now, because streaming is the future for them. Everybody is just going to go where they want, when they want it, and brand loyalty is going to be going out the window. You're just going to play where the games are.
Yeah, that's fair play. Holtz, what is your take?
Well, I was always a gamer that liked the idea that after a few years, exclusive titles should actually come to multiple platforms to allow the majority of gamers to actually play these amazing titles. But the community have always said, no, keep exclusives on certain platforms. That is why we buy that platform. And they sort of fanboy or fangirl it. And they've sort of picked on Microsoft and actually said, you've got no studios and you've got no games that we're not interested. So the marketing team or whoever behind Microsoft actually went, well, the community is actually telling us all they care about is exclusives from studios. So they put their money where their mouth is, and they should be applauded that they've given the gaming community enough time before next gen or before Xbox Cloud comes out of beta. Look, going forward, the future games that we announce from Bethesda is going to actually be on Microsoft ecosystem. So it's not like they've announced the game and they're going back on it. They're forewarning gamers now, and this is what a lot of gamers actually wanted.
Yeah, so this is kudos, as Mark said, to Microsoft, because they're not locking you into you got to buy an Xbox Series X now to play first-party Bethesda games. And they've also come out before this announcement saying all first-party Xbox games, so that's I think 23 or more studios that they've now got on their books, are going to be day one releases on Game Pass. They are pushing the Game Pass subscription, and that price went up a little bit, but hey, you are now able to play all their first-party titles plus a bunch of third-party titles on rotation on PC, mobile, getting better quality later, but well, mobile 720 is not the end of the world at the moment. And then obviously the Xbox Series X, Xbox One. That's huge, right? So I think it's £12 a month, I think, in the UK, actually, Game Pass Ultimate. That's a phenomenal deal for being able to play things like that. So even just having something like Elder Scrolls 6 or the next Doom being able to be played for that small subscription, which is actually slightly cheaper than Uplay Plus, which is a bit more restrictive on what you can play it on right now, but obviously they're opening that up, and I'm really hoping that when that does open up to the other cloud gaming platforms, it's part of that single subscription, because otherwise that's going to be a bit of a turn-off. And that's what I found quite interesting, is Duncan was saying about on Twitter that there's rumors about Ubisoft being bought. I think they're probably one of the companies out there that doesn't need to be bought, and probably $7.5 billion is going to be a drop in the ocean for them. Their esports division alone is probably going to be pulling in not far off of that. So if anybody was going to buy Ubisoft, they're going to have seriously deep pockets to make that stuff exclusive. Because, as you said, I think Holt said, I've always been a fan of Ubisoft because they are on every single platform. They just want you to play their games. So they were on OnLive, they're on Stadia, they're on Boosteroid, they're on pretty much every cloud gaming platform going. Geforce Now, the lot. So I don't think anybody's going to be able to buy them and lock them into a single platform. I don't think that's their market or drive. So it would be sad to see, but if it happens, it happens, right? Subscription and streaming is just life now, right? I think we've all probably got far too many subscriptions under our belt for content that we occasionally flick through. So we'll have to see. Any more on this?
Yeah. No, I was just going to say personally, I don't think there is a number for Bethesda. I don't think it matters how deep the pockets are. I'm hoping. I mean, there could be some astronomically large numbers, but I'm hoping their position is kind of what we've already said, that they are more in the stance of they want their games available on every platform. They want everyone to play them wherever and however, and whichever subscription choice they make or console or platform they buy into, as long as they can access it, and they don't want to restrict people behind one platform or company or whatever it is. So yeah, I would hope there isn't even a number.
Anybody else want to say anything on the Ubisoft before we?
Well, let's hope, because they have good intent what Microsoft's doing. Let's hope people don't actually boycott the whole Microsoft brand and then start saying, well, I won't play Doom, but I'll play a Doom-style game on a different console. I don't want to play Fallout, but I'll play something that's similar to Fallout, and then sort of push that studio's name and down the toilet, because they don't want to accept that it's actually Microsoft's actually invested in it to actually bring it to a big, huge demographic without tying them down to hardware or service or whatever.
I will just quote the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price. It all depends if people are willing to hit that price or not.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
My last comment on Game Pass xCloud. Do we have an official name yet? Because I just keep calling it everything. I think until Microsoft tell me what to call it, I'm just going to list it by all names. The last thing that I thought was really interesting is the dude who played Doom Eternal on his fridge.
Yeah, we knew that was sort of thing coming with the Android sideload. But yeah, I think the official Discord and stuff that have switched are calling it either Xbox Cloud or Xbox Game Pass Cloud. So I think they're trying to bring it back closer to the xCloud. I think they're trying to drop the xCloud name for more for the Xbox brand or the Game Pass brand with cloud in it.
Yeah, including just calling it Game Pass is confusing because, like I said, that is the name of all of the other platforms as well. So that doesn't really sell it. It does need to have the word cloud in there. I still, people just historically know it as xCloud. So whenever I refer to it, I'll call it Microsoft xCloud Game Pass and just cover all of my bases now.
So the two main Discords I'm on, one is called Xbox Game Streaming. The other is Xbox Cloud. So take your pick. I don't think they have officially announced it apart from the I think the ridiculously long title initially, which was the Xbox Game Pass Cloud. Which
that's what I assumed it was.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a mouthful. So hopefully they do work on that. What was it? XBGC. Rolls off the tongue nicely. Okay, so we've got just under 10 minutes here for some questions. I see Assassin's put one in there, so we'll come on to that in a second. Just very quickly, have you guys been using maximum settings or Shadow this week, or have you got any news in particular on these two topics? Mark, the Shadow guy, is shaking his head. That's not a good sign.
I switched Shadow on this week. There's my Shadow news of the week. I actually logged into my account, and it's actually working on better than it has been. So I think I'm going to be doing a bit more.
In terms of updates, I think the beta launcher got a really nice UI update. A lot of their settings are now in sync. There was some stuff that you could only access in the quick menu once you were already logged in. which you can now access from the main screen. The bandwidth is a lot more precise and lets you sync up to a couple of other settings. So it's all part of the unified, what are they calling it? Unified platform, where the experience shouldn't differ between the devices that you use, essentially. So that looks really good. If you haven't already seen that, if you're on the official application, swap over to the beta one. It's pretty simple. It will just uninstall a couple of components, reinstall the right ones, and it should be the same. Performance shouldn't be that difference between the two applications. And then in terms of activations, there are multiple data centers in the US now, which are now under 24 hours for activation. You've got Chicago, Texas, and Santa Clara. So anyone in the US who's been waiting to sign up, within 24-hour activations for them now. It's not been seen for a hell of a long time. So if you've been waiting, that's a great time. New York isn't far behind. I think if you pre-ordered now, it would be December. So they're only a few months behind. That I reckon they will catch up very soon. Europe, as always, is Europe. Paris is worse off, but it looks like Amsterdam is actually catching up pretty quickly, and the numbers actually seem much more positive than what they posted in their community forum update. There's a couple of people on my Discord who have said they said this, but I pre-ordered well after that, and I got activated randomly this week. So they're catching up quick. Let's just hope they don't do another sponsored video with a big YouTube channel, and they should be able to maintain it.
Yeah, so I've been using Shadow for Call of Duty, the Cold War beta, mainly for the latency, and I had a couple of issues on maximum settings, but that has been fixed now by the looks of it in the latest patch. My only gripe with Shadow is, for some reason on Shield TV, the app doesn't remember my login at all, and I've got quite a strong random password for my Shadow PC. So entering that on the Shadow TV every time, on the Shield TV, just really winds me up, and half the time I just go and do something else because I just can't be asked to go and track down my password and enter it. But I'm hoping they sort that out, because it remembers quite fine after they fixed it 3 or 4 times on my PC and Mac now and phone. So I don't know why the Android or the Shield TV app is an issue on that one, but
yeah, I feel your pain. I've got a huge password, and I was on the Apple TV with that little crappy sensor, and I was trying to put the virtual keyboard on to sign in, going, it took me ages. So
it's like, it takes you 2 or 3 attempts. You get in, you think great, and then you go on the next day, and it's like, you need to log in again. It's like, yeah, no. So yeah, hopefully they can get that sorted. Right, Sassy, I said we would get to your question with 4 minutes left. So, do you see the Stadia event having an app for their new Chromecast being announced? Do you think that this would be the Stadia app on Chromecast, or do you think like an events app like Apple? I think you're meaning a Stadia app for the new Chromecast TV, but I don't think we're going to see that this year. I think they said that they were pushing this off till next year. Is that right, guys?
Late, mid 21, wasn't it?
But yeah,
It was
by June.
first half.
Oh yeah, that was it. First half of 2020.
The whole point is there's loads of tech events coming up like CES and all that, but you can actually promote all that in future events. They're not going to be now. I think this is going to be the games and the upcoming features.
Yeah, as we said before, if it was ready and working on Android TV, we would have expected to have seen it as part of the Google TV. But the early reports of people sideloading it, having mixed results, even on the Chromecast with Google TV, just echoes everybody sideloading on all the other Android TV devices. Some, it was perfect, others, unplayable. And I'm one of the unplayables. It just does not run on the standard Shield TV for me, which is quite a powerful Android TV device. So I think once they resolve those issues, we're going to see Stadia everywhere. But for now, again, Google won't roll it out unless they're confident. And that's why we had the experiments flags and why we still have the experiment flag on their unsupported Android devices. So watch this space. One for Mark. Oh, other than Mark, are we all on Shadow Boost? Yes. because nothing above boost exists, and I think there's still no timeline on Infinite or Ultra at all right now. It's just we are on a waiting list, waiting for more information. I don't know if Holtz, you actually got an upgrade opportunity. Did that ever happen?
No, it fell through. I got an email about 2-3 weeks later saying we apologise, but this service will not be available to you. And which, like I said, I was really excited to play these 4 games on, the highest tier. But it's a shame it's been delayed till 2021. So now I'm just on Boost just for access Stadia and stuff like that.
So Shadow Boost has got a really good system. Unfortunately, their tech, I feel, has really let them down with the amount of orders and stuff. And I feel that, not to try and hate on them, but with everything coming at the end of this year, other cloud platforms really starting to step it up on the graphics and hardware, 3080s, 3060s, 70s, all becoming commonplace now. There's going to be a lot of hate on Shadow next year if they don't sort out these Infinite and Ultra tiers, or at least bring in something like a 2060 or 2070 as the Shadow Boost tier. I don't know what you feel about that, Mark, but I think they really need to look at these. We upgrade your computers for you, which they kind of promised from the start.
Yeah, I think their new CTO already touched on that, and he cited that specifically, that they're, it's kind of like the motto is that you never have to upgrade your PC, because they do it for you. But to date, there hasn't been many upgrades. I think it's all but confirmed that at least for the short time period, we won't see the new cards. The concentration here really just does need to be getting out the Ultra Infinite tiers. From a financial standpoint, I do understand it, because Nvidia come out with new cards every single year, and it's just a massive financial overhead if you had to every year swap out the cards for like this much. I mean, this year was a particularly good example, but in previous years it's been for like this much difference. It would be like millions of pounds overhead on them to increase everyone's machines by that. I think if everyone keeps shouting on some of the things that they want, they're very aware that across the board, one of the things is the CPUs. So if we were to see a hardware change in the near future, and this is just speculative, there is no inside information here. If we were to see any hardware changes in the near future, you would hope it would be the CPUs.
Yeah, that's true. Right, we are at time, gents. There is a question there for Mark, which he can answer in the chat from Dave on Stadia latency. Or I think it was actually Holtz that said about that. So he'll answer you in chat. So just to round it off then, obviously we let everybody promote where they are and where you can find them on YouTube. So Holtz, is your channel up yet? We're going to bug you every week until you have a YouTube channel.
There's an Indonesian guy that's doing my intro and actually designing the characters I want to on Fiverr, but he's taking his time, so I can't push his workload too much. So, but I did say if it's not hurrying up, I'll just, when all these games that I want to play comes out in the next few weeks, I might just start the channel without it and just wing it a little bit. But attention to detail. But you can find me at Holt86 on Twitter, and on this channel that I'm creating called Cloud Gaming Club.
Thank you. Duncan, where can we find you?
At Cloudy with a Chance of Games. I'm going to just say that one from now on because I want to get my team out there. They are working really, really hard behind the scenes. So Cloudy with a Chance of Games and Cloudy with a Chance of Games on YouTube as well.
And Mark, where can we find you?
So I'm at Mark Watts VLGS over on Twitter if you want to give me a follow, and on YouTube at Mark Watts VLG on Twitter for cloud gaming news, gaming live streams, and VR content.
And obviously you can catch me with Ace on here on the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think this has been one hell of a stream, and we are really looking forward to stuff next week. It's been an awesome month for cloud gaming in general already, and we are very excited to see what the next few weeks brings. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.